What if I told you that one of the NBA's rising stars was once overlooked by scouts, barely considered a real prospect, and almost missed his chance at professional basketball? Sounds impossible, right? But that's exactly the story of Dalton Knecht, a player who defied the odds and is now making a name for himself in the NBA. Knecht wasn't a highly recruited high school player. He wasn't the flashy, can't-miss talent that teams fought over. In fact, at one point, it seemed like his basketball career might never take off. But instead of giving up, he worked harder than ever, transforming himself into a completely different player. By the end of this video, you'll see how Knecht went from being an underdog to an NBA sensation. If you've ever doubted your own potential, this story will change the way you think about talent, effort, and success. Dalton Knecht's journey to the NBA was anything but conventional. Unlike most rising stars, he didn't grow up with national attention or elite-level training programs. Born and raised in Colorado, he played high school basketball but wasn't considered a standout talent. In fact, he didn't receive a single Division I scholarship offer after graduation. A harsh reality for any young athlete dreaming of making it to the NBA. With no major colleges knocking on his door, Knecht had to take an alternate route. He started at Northeastern Junior College, a small school with little national recognition. Junior college isn't the typical path for NBA players, but for Knecht, it was an opportunity to keep playing and prove himself. Even then, he remained under the radar. It wasn't until he transferred to the University of Northern Colorado that his game started turning heads. There, he showed glimpses of the player he would become, an elite scorer with relentless work ethic. But even after a solid college career, he was still far from being a household name. The odds were against him. He wasn't a five-star recruit. He didn't have a big-time college program backing him. But Knecht refused to let those limitations define him. He had something that numbers and rankings couldn't measure, an unstoppable drive to improve. And that drive would soon lead to a turning point, one that would change everything. Every great athlete has a moment that changes everything. A moment when they decide to push beyond their limits. For Dalton Knecht, that moment came when he realized that simply being good wasn't enough. He needed to become undeniable. After his time at Northern Colorado, Knecht made a bold move, transferring to Tennessee, a powerhouse in college basketball. This was his shot at proving he could compete at the highest level. But stepping into a much more competitive environment wasn't easy. He wasn't the most athletic player on the court. He didn't have the same natural skill set as some of his teammates. If he wanted to stand out, he had to rely on something else, his work ethic. Knecht became obsessed with improvement. He put in extra hours in the gym, refining his shooting, footwork, and ball handling. He studied film relentlessly, analyzing the smallest details to gain an edge over his competition. His dedication paid off. During his final college season at Tennessee, Knecht exploded onto the national scene. He averaged over 20 points per game, showcasing an elite ability to score from anywhere on the court. Suddenly, scouts who had overlooked him before started paying attention. He went from being an unknown player to one of the most intriguing prospects in college basketball. But proving himself at the college level was only the beginning. The NBA was a whole different challenge, and Knecht was about to face the biggest test of his career. Despite his breakout season at Tennessee, Dalton Knecht still wasn't a guaranteed first-round draft pick. The doubts lingered. Analysts questioned whether his skills would translate to the NBA. Was he athletic enough? Could he compete against the league's elite defenders? Would teams take a chance on a player who had taken such an unconventional path? But Knecht had heard the doubts before, and once again he proved them wrong. On draft night, his patience and hard work finally paid off. He was selected in the first round of the NBA draft, an achievement that once seemed nearly impossible. But the celebration didn't last long. Being drafted was just the beginning. Now he had to prove that he belonged in the league. From the moment he arrived at his new team, Knecht approached the NBA the same way he had approached every other challenge in his career, with relentless effort. He immediately started working on adapting his game to the faster pace and increased physicality of the league. He improved his conditioning, tightened his shooting mechanics, and adjusted to playing against bigger, stronger opponents. Then the season started. In his first few games, he wasted no time making an impact. His ability to score efficiently, even under pressure, quickly earned him minutes on the court. He wasn't just surviving, he was thriving. The same player who once struggled to get a college scholarship was now going head-to-head with the best in the world. But what truly set Knecht apart wasn't just his talent, it was his mindset. And that mindset would soon turn him into a player no one could ignore. Dalton Knecht didn't just make it to the NBA, he made sure people noticed him. While many rookies struggled to adjust to the speed and physicality of the league, Knecht's adaptability and confidence helped him stand out almost immediately. From the first time he stepped on the court, he played like he belonged. His scoring ability translated seamlessly to the NBA, and his work ethic ensured that he kept improving. Whether it was draining three-pointers with defenders in his face or attacking the rim with fearless determination, Knecht quickly showed that he wasn't just another rookie trying to find his place. He was a game changer. What surprised analysts the most wasn't just his scoring, it was his mentality. Unlike some young players who take time to build confidence, Knecht played every game with the mindset of a veteran. He didn't let mistakes shake him. He didn't hesitate to take big shots. He embraced the pressure that came with playing at the highest level. As the season progressed, his performances became impossible to ignore. He wasn't just filling a roster spot, he was making a real impact. The same player who had once been overlooked was now being discussed as one of the most promising young talents in the league. But beyond the points and highlights, Knecht's story carried a deeper message, one that would inspire countless athletes striving to overcome their own obstacles. Dalton Knecht's story is more than just a basketball success story. It's a lesson in resilience, hard work, and self-belief. He wasn't a five-star recruit. He wasn't handed opportunities. He had to earn everything, and that's exactly what makes his journey so inspiring. His story proves that talent alone isn't enough. Plenty of players have natural ability, but few have the relentless drive to improve like Knecht. He showed that no matter where you start, success is possible if you're willing to put in the work. But perhaps the biggest takeaway from his journey is this: being overlooked doesn't mean you're not capable. Whether in sports, career, or life, there will always be people who doubt you. Knecht could have let those doubts define him. Instead, he used them as fuel to get better, to prove himself, and to seize the opportunities that came his way. His rise in the NBA isn't just about basketball, it's about mindset. It's about pushing past limitations, embracing challenges, and proving that the only opinion that truly matters is the one you have about yourself. So, if you've ever felt underestimated, remember Knecht's story. Keep grinding, keep improving. Because when you refuse to give up, success isn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when.